Hey everybody, welcome to the socaldramtram. This is your boy Cesar.
And I'm Matt.
And today we got a great one. As always, we got a great one, of course, because we're doing it. But this one right here definitely holds a special place in my heart. This Highland Park 18 year. Highland Park 18 year, not only is it really good and my top 5 whiskeys probably of all time, but this one holds a special near and dear true to my heart. This one right here I got because when me and my girlfriend had our 1 year anniversary, she was like, I'll get you a bottle that you really want as long as you make it last till our next anniversary so we could keep doing it. And I'm like, sold. So that's what I got here, folks. And I'm honestly gonna say it is amazing, amazing whiskey for all you Scotch drinkers out there.
Folks, I've never had a Scotch bottle make sounds. You have marbles in this bottle.
True.
Please tell me why you have marbles in an 18-year-old Scotch.
This is true. All right, folks.
I'm gonna have marbles in my damn glass.
So for all you folks at home,
it's a tricky pour, folks. We're gonna lose our marbles on this one.
That's a good one. I like it. I like it. So folks, for those of you at home asking why the hell this...
It's like a rain stick.
Yeah. For those of you at home asking why this little Dalmatian has this little, marbles inside the really expensive, let me quality Scotch.
No marbles? Okay, we good.
The reason for that, folks, for those of you at home thinking I'm a lunatic, let me explain it. The marbles are made out of glass, right? So if you throw it into the alcohol mixture, it's not gonna change the flavor profile of the alcohol at all whatsoever, because it's glass. It's not made of it's not made of a seasoning. It's not something that can disintegrate into the alcohol. So the reason I put marbles in there is because the less air you have in the bottle, the longer it will last. Less aeration, the longer the bottle will last, and the fresher it's going to taste. So with this high quality bottle of Scotch I got from my girlfriend, I was like, man, I need to make this last. So as I've been drinking it, this is technically like a half or less full bottle, but it looks like right here because of the marbles. As I've been drinking it, I've been throwing marbles in it to let less air in there, therefore it being a fresher dram every time I drink it. Also making it last the whole year until our 2nd year anniversary, to where I could empty out the marbles and be like, all right, I made this last the whole year. So folks, that right there is why I have the marbles, and that I didn't get that myself. I think I got that from, who was it?
It was Scotch for Dummies. So
yeah.
Full disclosure, I already knew why he had marbles in there. This is something that we actually kind of went over for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
And it was right around like when we first started thinking about even doing socaldramtram, where it was like, we got some of these really nice bottles that we really like. I mean, I know that there's a lot nicer bottles out there, but they're nice bottles that we enjoy. And like you said, this one's from your girlfriend. It's a thing that gives you fond memories. It's your first anniversary, things like that. So you want to try to make that last, especially since she's like, oh, you need to make it last. So there's ways that you can go about preserving your Scotch or your bourbon or whatever. And obviously the most easy one is, hey, put it in a smaller container. You've already got the showpiece bottle. You already drank half of it. Put it in a smaller container. That's what I've done with some of my higher end stuff, and I'll tell you, it does make a difference. Definitely. You've optioned for the glass marbles, which, like I said, I heard from Scotch for Dummies. This was months ago. They were talking about how to preserve your Scotch and things like this. It was Dr. Scotch, in fact, my boy Andrew over there, and he had mentioned, hey, if you put glass marbles in there, there'll be less oxidation between the cork and the liquid, so it'll help preserve that liquid for a longer period of time. You know what we should have done for this, because I know that you've been doing this, is we should have poured a sample. Actually, no, I have a sample.
Oh, from back then when I first, yeah.
So I have a small sampling, because when he first brought this over to me, I have never had Highland Park. To this day, this is the only Highland Park that I've had, I think. But I did pour a small sample because I really did enjoy it. So I'm curious, when this gets down towards last few drams, I want to pull out that other sample and really see if there's a difference. Hey, happy coincidence. We're going to do some fun stuff. Cool. But yeah, so first off, thank you for sharing your anniversary gift with me. I always appreciate that.
Always, brother.
In terms of coins today, I'm going to be using my Scotch for Dummies. This is the first fill coin. This is Mark's coin. This is the Scotch War coin. First coin I ever bought, and it really did start an addiction. I think I'm up to like 30 coins now. So thanks, Mark, you jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Who are you using today?
For my coaster coin, I'm using the last drop.
Chris,
sir.
what's up, brother?
Thanks, brother. And for my topper coin, I'm using my recycled reviews Aquavitae, or the water of life.
Shout out to Roy.
Roy.
So, right off the nose, right? You get a little bit of that sherry influence. Now, this is the 18 year. I'm pretty certain that this is going to have a little bit of sherry finishing, if I'm not mistaken. 18-year-old Viking Pride 2018 batch tasting notes. I'm not sure what kind of barrels it was finishing. But like I said, I think there's some sherry barrels going on in this guy here. Now, Highland Park has a 12, they have an 18, and then they have a ton of other stuff. It seems like every time I go to the liquor store, there's a new Highland Park almost. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't really delved into them, because I've heard a ton of different like mixed reviews on stuff, but then also just that there's too many bottles to keep track of. So it's one of the reasons why I've kind of stayed away. But this bottle in particular, I think it goes for about $140 if I remember correctly, and it's really good. Like right off the bat, like I said, I get some of that sherry sweetness, almost get some cinnamon, some baking spices, things like that from the wood. But that, man, there's almost, I can't quite put my finger on it.
For me, I get a little bit of a minty peach out of it, actually. Like I get a peach for sure, but then I almost get like a dash of mint right on there. Yeah, exactly. Like of mint right on there.
It's like he's trying to do with mint, but it just gets stuck in his like arm hair.
So of mint. Yeah, as far as nose profile, that's what I get.
So this is just, I don't know if it has to do with the marbles, but this is just as good as I remember it. Really malty. You get some of that sherry sweetness. So like I said, you get a little bit of like kind of the darker fruits, your cherries, your figs, your dates, things like that. Not like it's an explosion of it, but you get those traditional flavors. Honey was the note that I was like blanking on for some reason. I couldn't quite get it. So I get some of that honey on the palate for sure. On the back end, like on the finish, I'm getting a little bit more of that pepper spice. Like almost a little bit of a pepper bomb, but not to the point where it's like, oh my God, it's killing my throat. Nothing like that. Like it's not like super spiced up, but there's definitely a nice spicy finish, almost complimentative, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a $5 word.
I'm almost like at the start getting a little bit of like a coffee bean, like straight coffee bean flavor, like, but not as rough. Because you know, if you get a coffee bean and you start chewing on it, bam, it's just like 0 to 100 like real quick. But no, this is like if the coffee bean was at like a 5 to 10%, you chew on it and it's 5 to 10% as bitter as what you initially think it is. Also, as far as finish goes, I think it finishes kind of like a marshmallow. Like a nice soft marshmallow.
I could maybe get behind like a little bit between the malt. I am getting like a little bit of a chocolatey sweetness to it. Maybe like a little bit of the s'mores, right? You got that smoke from the campfire wood. You got a little bit of that, you know, sweetness from the chocolate, the malty graham cracker crust almost. And then, I mean, who knows? I'm not getting marshmallow as of yet, but I am still getting a sweetness, so I can kind of get behind you on that. So I dropped 3 drops of water in this guy, so I'm anxious to see what happens to it. Nothing really changed on the nose for me. It's pretty much the same. But I am getting a little bit more of that coffee note you were talking about, and I wasn't picking that up before. But like bitter coffee, like almost like a cold brew. You know what I mean? Not like fresh, like, you know, coffee pot. You know, like a. I don't even
No,
know,
I was
like
talking about a coffee bean, like
a
a coffee bean.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm getting like a cold brew coffee.
Yeah, so I think
bitterness,
that's where you linked with that. Yeah, definitely like raw coffee bean, not sweetened up.
Okay. With the water, I get your marshmallow. With the water, I get a little bit more of that kind of like candy sweetness, kind of sticking to your, you know, the roof of your mouth.
Wow.
Again, giving a little bit more of that s'mores aspect to it. Interestingly enough, I kind of lost the chocolate, but I definitely get a lot more of that marshmallow sweetness for sure.
I think the flavor profile heightens with a little bit of water for sure. I think it's coming out a little bit more. However, I think there's a little bit more of like a peppery finish compared to the first time, because I never got a pepper finish, but now with the water,
A little bit more.
it's like a little bit of a linger.
Well, and it's and we didn't say this, but it's 43%. It doesn't say anything about chill filtration or color added, so we're going to go ahead and assume that it's got both. But
Yeah,
this is a
natural
good
color.
one. Oh, it does say natural color
Yeah.
on it? Oh, then. Well, excuse the hell out of me. No, but nonetheless, natural color and 43% ABV. But I will say that this is a good one. $140, 18 years.
I think I get some chocolate cherries out of this too, though, to be honest.
I can get some chocolate covered cherries out of it, especially without the water for me, because like I said, without the water, I got some of that chocolate note.
But the cherries, though, that are like the bar cherries, not like regular super sweet cherries, you know what I mean? I don't know what they're called, but I know there's a word for them.
So, 43%, 18 years old, $140. Let's see, what other 18s are out there that we've done or that we've had that are in that same price range? Glendronach 18 is about $140. Deanston 18 is about 130 or 70 if you know where to look. Yeah, I think that's a fair price for this guy. I think the flavor profile is good, and I think, and again, it's kind of hard for me to say because I haven't had any other Highland Parks. I'm gonna give it a 3. This isn't my bottle. Obviously, this is your special time bottle. And you got marbles in it, so you know there's that too. maybe if the standard release came with marbles, I'd give it a 4. But I think I'm gonna stick with my 3 because again, it's got a good malty foundation. It does have that nice marshmallow sweetness on when you add the water, but I don't like the fact that I have to add water to get it. I wish I could have gotten it without the water because I think it would have just made it that much better. I would love to get my hands on like an independent bottling of Highland Park.
That'd be good.
Because
yeah.
I think if we can get our hands on it presented at like a cask strength, I think this would just give us so much more of an option on it. So I'm going to give it a 3 and I'm going to stick to it unless for some reason he talks me up, but I don't think it's going to happen. So it's a 3 for me. What do you got?
So to be honest, this is really good stuff. I really like it, even for the price point. Like I'd probably pay a little bit more for it and still rate it at the same rate I'm rating it. I'm probably gonna rate it a 4 because you know it's like Highland Park. You light my heart like Tony Stark. You make me creep like I'm a narc, and you took my heart right from the start. So thank you, Highland Park, for that great memory, this great year, all these times we've been through. Ups and downs, frowns and crowns.
Now he's freestyling.
No, but for real, for the price point, the age, the quality, I think it is right up there with superior Scotch, other Scotches. So definitely a 4 for me. It's definitely a 4. It's great. It's going to be replaced like that, and yeah. It's definitely good stuff.
I mean, by your logic, if it's a 2, you replace it. You just gave this a 4. You're buying 2 bottles.
Yep. Oh.
One for me, one for him. Well,
Easily.
it's a 4 from
Easily.
Cesar. It's a 3 from me today, guys. Hey, thanks again for sticking around. We know things in the world are still a little bit crazy, but that's all right as long as you're still tuning into us and we're tuning into you guys. What does that mean? I don't really know. But hey, do us a favor. Like the video if you're new here. Be sure to subscribe. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at socaldramtram. Let us know in the comments. Have you had Highland Park 18? What other Highland Parks have you had? Because there's like 300 of them. Which one do you recommend that we seek out? Because we're more than willing to take suggestions. Let us know in the comments. We love talking with you guys. You got anything else you want to add today, Cesar?
Now, what about you, Matt?
Not much. Stay safe. Drink well, folks. All aboard. Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.